Hey guys, happy Friday. I hope you have a wonderful day, okay? This throw is just for Friday. I'm going to do a weekend throw separate because I want to see where this goes, and I want to see if we're pulling on moon energy, which I think we are, right? Or I just want to, I think there's a need to pull an additional throw for this week, so that's why I'm going to do this. So anyhow, this throw today, we've got the Page of Coins, the 5 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, and the 2 of Coins. Okay, I want to say this. You have the power of choice, right? You have the power of creativity. You have the power of focus. You're given all of these gifts, okay? But for some reason, I can't figure out if you're selling yourself short due to family dynamics, something that trips you up along the way. We've got no swords and no wands in here. Okay, so there's no logical thinking here. We're not disciplining our mind, right? We're letting it maybe get the best of us here repeatedly. And we've got no wands here, so there's no real desire here. I think that, and don't take offense to this, okay, but I think that some of you may try to just get through life by taking the easy route, right? Not wanting to really apply yourself somewhere, having great daydreams, but not being able to anchor them, right? Maybe making superficial choices as far as friends go, relationships go. I think that you're selling yourself extremely short here. Okay, because the Page of Cups comes in, and that's the energy. That's scholarly energy. That's wanting to learn something different. That's really having a creative edge. But you're selling yourself short somewhere, or you're letting somebody, sometimes family dynamic can be, you can be like the black sheep in the herd here that wants to go in a different direction instead of the one that maybe say a family lineage is just, it's a certain way, it's steeped in, just for example, would be like religion or tradition or culture, and it doesn't really care that it's not been working. It just, that's the way it is. We're just going to follow this. We're not going to question it. We're just going to go along, and this is how it's going to be, right? It could be causing chaos around you, and that could be where, you're raised in that environment, right? So it's not, some things, yes, are easier to change the dynamic of than others, right? It is, and I can tell you that just from working with many different cultures around the world. Some, it's easier to change the dynamic, and others, it's extremely hard, right? So we can't really judge people. It's just, I'm seeing here a vast dynamic. For those of you that are stuck in that kind of dynamic, right, where it's just, you feel disloyal, you feel guilt sets in when you really, you can make a great life for yourself. Okay, you've just got to be dedicated, know that you can go the distance, step outside of your box. You know what? So what if you fail? At least you tried. You've got one other thing under your belt. And 9 times out of 10, guys, when we fail at something, it's only because it's right at that moment, it opens the door for something. So the direction that we're going is just a catalyst to where the universe is sending us, right? It really does align like this. So somebody is shooting themselves in the foot in here. And this is a this is a repeated pattern, right? This is just, it's a repeated pattern. It's, I get into these relationships that are vain and superficial, and they crash and burn. They don't look like this. I pretend that they look like this, but they really look like this, right? They're the things that we do to ourselves here. But what I'm really focusing on is this, okay? Because you have the idea, you want to run with it, you really do, but this paralyzes you. And it's just getting stuck in old patterns, in people in your lives. But there's just, you've got to, and two, if you are one of the lazier people, right? And don't take offense. Well, you know what? You should take offense to this. Take offense to that. Being lazy is not a good thing. You're sitting on a gold mine of creativity, which can change your life. And I can tell you very strongly here, There is financial gain here. There is wealth, there is happiness, there's tranquility, stability, but you've got to step outside of this pattern, this destructive pattern, okay? A lot of times too, without wands and without swords in here, we don't know how to get that train going on a different track, right? This is why I feel so strongly, and I try to push to everyone, that the power is in the day. When we're bored and complacent in the day, the next day will be even more bored and more complacent. It's a ripple effect of destruction is really what it is. We need to find on our day-to-day the things that make us happy, you know, the things that give us joy. And if we can't find them, we really need to go back and figure out what are the things, how do I nurture myself? And that sounds like a really mundane question, but it's really true, right? What really makes me feel content and whole and at peace and safe? What makes me feel safe? Because when you don't feel safe and you're not in a relationship that makes you feel safe, right? You've got no one holding the door for you to say, go ahead, try it. You know, I'm right here. Nothing's going to happen. Go try it. So what if you crash and burn? So what? You know, if nobody's going to die in the scenario here, of course, obviously, right? Then go and try something. Align yourself with people that you know hold the gate for you. I think in here too, what the crash and burn might be is that you're selling yourself short. So you're falling into not thinking that you can have a proper relationship, right? And by that I just mean balanced and healthy and growing and not dependent and in, you know, all of that. You want a healthy relationship, but when you don't think that you're worthy of that or that you can do that, you fall into these relationships. You repeatedly, without even knowing it, fall into these relationships that you know are not going to go anywhere, right? Because you don't think you've got what it takes to do all this. I'm telling you, you do. This has become a prison. This is lineage. This is old patterns. This is, I don't know why I do this. It's ingrained in us generation after generation after generation. So if you're not one of the lazy ones doing this on purpose, and you know what? Sometimes that happens too. When we're not, you know, allowed to express our creativity or even have that formed as children, we really grow into adults that really aren't moved by anything, you know, but we can fix that. There's a statute of limitations when we have to stop, you know, blaming the past and really take responsibility and seek out avenues to make your life better. I'm telling you, what I've got sitting here is a gold mine for you in whatever that means to you, wherever your real home is inside you, right? You've got that sitting here. You've just got to change some old patterns. You've got to let too, if you've got family in here, lineage that's pulling you backwards, saying, how could you leave and go do something else? How could you move to another country and do this? The guilt that gets put on people is overwhelming. But I'm honestly telling you, your guides are telling you, step outside of this debilitating pattern here, okay? The life and the creativity that you want is here. The choices that you make are yours. It's your responsibility to make choices for you. If you're in relationships, and this is the other thing I'm going to say, you want to get your life on track here where you're on solid ground, okay, before you pull in a relationship, because what you're going to pull in is what's vibrating with what you're trying to change, which is another, you know, mismatched. It's not what you want, okay? Because with this kind of setups, relationships and marriages will not be successful. They'll actually be more of a detriment. So you want to get your life, which is, this is you right here. I think you're repeatedly selling yourself short. This is what you want, but you're ending up here, you know, basically, you know, you've got no kingdom here, but you're creating that yourself, okay? So this is making choices for yourself, okay? Wise choices for yourself. Okay, I'm going to keep this short. It's daily. You've got to figure out where your desires are, where your staying power is, because again, guys, if we don't desire it enough, we will not move a mountain for it. And that's when we're going to sit on the couch and say, I'll just wait. It's got to come at some point, right? No, it doesn't. You know, destiny and opportunities knock, but they're not a given. You have to go seize them, okay? So there you go. I'm a little strong. I don't know why I'm yelling, but there's a lot of strong push behind this. Don't get caught in daydreams. Anchor them. Put a timeline on it. Sign a piece of paper that holds you accountable to you, right? I'm going to start living my life for me. Sign it and date it, and you have to do it. It will hold you equally as accountable, okay? And it'll make you feel guilty for not doing it. So at least then, I'm not an advocate for guilt, but it puts it at least in your, puts the ball in your court, right? So there you go. You can do this. It's just, I think that what you thought was a safe haven has become a prison, right? And sometimes that's within ourselves, okay? So there you go, okay? Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I will be more than happy to do anything for you, okay? Thank you so much.